Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Hockey Republic. My good name is George Njuguna, and the usual gang is just here. Saimo, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Doing well. It's been a tough day, very hot day, but
Very
nashukuru
hot.
God, I'm good. Yeah, it's been
At
very,
least
very
today,
hot of
at
late.
least today, you're not speaking to yourself, eh?
Yeah. I'm not speaking to myself, so
Toma
it's
tafute
it's
jokes
good.
zingine sasa.
Yeah. So how have you been? Has your few days been, because you were together over the weekend? And of course, how was your week? And very much welcome to our fans. So Jugush, how are you?
I'm good. Hectic week, just like you. This
Mhm.
sun is so hot, man. Very, very hot.
Yeah. Well, they are saying that unajua wanasemanga ni ile jua ya mvua. I've never
Yeah,
understood it. But yeah, it's hot. My
very.
face is peeling like a snake. Sunburns zimekuwa mingi. Disadvantage ya kuwa mweupe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we have lots and lots.
Saturday, Sunday spent the whole day
Mhm.
on the pitch. On Saturday, I was at the Hillcrest under 19 and under 15 girls tournament. Won 2 trophies. Yay to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then on Sundays, some parts of Saturday I spent at City Park, and also Sunday the whole day was at City Park watching the games. It was good to be back at City Park watching the games.
And the crowd also was just
Yeah,
amazing.
mm. Yeah, it
It
was, it
was
was, it was.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
very 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 huge crowd, which was really good. The turnout keeps getting better and better every weekend, and so we have
Mm.
that and much more to discuss.
And before we
Maybe.
continue, I just want to give a shout out to everyone who hollered at us. We were with you at City Park. Thank you. It's amazing to meet our fans one on one. Get your feedback. I know some of you who watch are not don't give us feedback via our DMs and comment section, but it's good to meet them and have a chat about our show, about the topics we discuss, and we've received a lot of ideas on the content we need to bring forward. So big shout out to all of you. Remember always to share, ask people to come on board. We are here every Wednesday night. Yeah, let's grow the community.
Yeah, that's true. And we begin with the analysis of the results of last week.
Mm. Hmm.
I know Saimo is going to pull them up just in just a bit, but quite an interesting weekend it has been. Saimo,
Yeah.
probably just an overview, not specifics,
Mm.
but just an overview of the different matches. What was your take as a coach?
Uh,
How did you put your coach's mind?
uh, I'd say interesting to view and to see the matches being played. As still the teams are a bit rusty
Mhm.
because of course they've stayed for close to 2 years without actually playing competitive hockey. The few teams that have participated in the various tournaments, you can see the difference. For example, Police or Zalendo, you can see there's a difference in how they play because they've been participating in tournaments, the latest tournaments that have been there. But overall, I'd say you can't compare the play we saw or we were seeing in 2019 and the play right now. There's a bit of disconnect, there's a bit of quality lacking in it. But all in all, it's good to see the players that they've kept fit and they are coming back slowly and slowly. So for the start, we expect it to be a bit slow, but as we go along, as the form builds, teams are going to come up and the play will improve.
Good.
Mm,
In terms of coaching and the style of play, are you seeing a
mm.
difference? Was the training that was held during the COVID period? Are you seeing a difference in terms of coaching the different teams, and is it being displayed in the pitch?
Yeah. There's a difference. What I saw from the teams is that most of them are trying to build play.
Mhm.
The matches I watched on Saturday and Sundays, most teams are not trying to hit the ball inside the deal. Like the injection is they're trying to at least string a few passes to get the circle penetration. So there's a bit of a difference. Remember that KHU held that coaching course over the COVID period, and also a lot of players and coaches have been watching the recent international tournaments like the Pro League. So they are trying to change a bit of their tactics. I was impressed by the fact that um, almost all the teams I watched on Sunday, they were trying
Mhm.
to switch the balls at the back. They were trying to use the wings to attack. They were trying to at least string a few passes before they get the ball into the circle,
Mhm.
and that's a good thing to see. There is a bit of a difference. The only
Mhm.
thing I think that um, from my personal view is that most teams focused on the weight loss program, which is
Mhm.
understandable in their fitness, and
Mhm.
they did not quite focus a lot on the match sharpness, match fitness. You know, it's totally different to train to lose weight and train to get match fit. Kuna
Mhm.
kukimbia without the ball na kuna kukimbia with the ball. So a few times you could see that players are trying to run with the ball, either the ball
Mhm.
overruns, there is no control and such things. But it's
Mhm.
understandable. I mean, the players have stayed for like 2 years without playing on the AstroTurf. So
Yeah.
it's something that now the coaches need to work on. They
Mhm.
start we need to start focusing on match fitness in terms of um, how do the players handle the ball? Do they how do they run with the ball? How do they control the ball on speed and all that?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's tough. Let me tell you, coaching in our setup. It's tough, and you know it's tough because you have players here, you have another group in another city or another town.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'd say the coaches have done really well to prepare the teams to be ready for the league.
Mhm.
Congratulations to all coaches.
Mhm. For me, I
Mm,
think one of the things I took notice is, especially the university sides,
mm,
I think them playing two parallel leagues is sort of helping them, and also you can see sort of drainage on the other end, because most of
mm,
the time you find that these players, some players are on one team, and I know we are going to get to the nitty gritties of it.
yeah,
Um, but you can see there's a lot of that. But the advantage is that there's a lot of depth in the
yeah,
teams,
yeah.
which is a really good thing, especially from the university sides.
Yeah,
Yes, and
if you look at the way USIU and KU played, you could
yeah.
see there's a difference over the opponents.
Mhm.
They played against Vikings.
Mhm.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
USIU played against Sliders. KU played against Vikings, and you could see
Yeah.
there is a difference. You could see there is a difference between the university side and the club side. The university side were they had an edge over the
Mhm.
opponents in terms of the speed, ball control, the agility. Their players were um, interlinking very well. So there is a difference between you could even see the match, the USIU versus Strathmore match. There was a bit of quality there. There was a bit of speed and all that. Also, if we come to Kenya Police versus Wazalendo, you remember Wazalendo last year were training for the club champs, and Police
Mhm.
have also been training for the local tournament. So you could see there was
Mhm.
a bit of quality there. So
Mhm.
it's as you've said, the university leagues and having the universities play in a parallel league has helped.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
probably it's more or less I'd throw a challenge to the counties or to the clubs or to
Mhm.
organizations like us.
Mhm.
What if we say now, for the teams that don't have league matches, how can we keep them up to form? You remember on
Yeah.
Sunday we had that discussion where we were saying, for example, Nairobi Hockey has 35 clubs. So can they organize also like a small league where
Mhm.
the teams that are not actively playing in the KHU leagues can continue playing weekend in, weekend out? We've seen the same happening at Mombasa. They have their own Mombasa league going on when
Mhm.
the teams don't have they don't have their league fixtures. They are playing in their coast league, and
Mhm.
believe you me, by the time these teams are coming to play in the KHU league, you will see a difference
Mhm.
between the teams that are not actively playing and the teams that are actively playing. For
Mhm.
example, you've seen that we have a team that has played in March.
Mhm.
one fixture or two fixtures. Their next fixture is in late April.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what do the teams do in between? Do they continue training? How will they test themselves after the
Mhm.
training? So, yeah. So, let's see as we go along with the show, we'll see the results and you'll see the difference. Yeah.
Mhm. Good.
Mm.
Remember, if you'd like to engage us, you can engage us on our socials, on the comment sections of this page, and you're definitely going to pull the feedback and just
Mm.
have the discussion around it. So, Simon, if you're ready, we can look at Saturday results, and because you are the one who was on that pitch, you're going to give us
I
your
can
in-depth
say that
analysis.
I didn't watch all matches on Saturday. As I said, on Saturday I was also participating in the under 19, the Kaiso tournament and the girls tournament that was hosted at Hillcrest. And just to mention a bit of that, it's we have a lot of talent at the international schools, and Jugush, I can tell you for a fact that um, if and I know I'm going to get battered for saying this, but if we were to pick one of those, we collect the best players in those leagues and have a team for them, they
Mhm.
will definitely get promoted from the Super League in the first season and even challenge the Premier League, most of the Premier League teams, because most of those girls, or some of those girls, actually, let me say most, they already
Mhm.
have that technical knowledge of how to play the game. For
Mhm.
example, you find that a defender knows how to position herself to channel the player away from the D. They know how to
Mhm.
channel the player to so that the teammate can collect the ball or tackle. So, and
Mhm.
some of those things are not really present in
Mhm.
in our current teams, because most
Mhm.
of our players, if you look at our education of hockey, it's not the
Mhm.
same that these international
It's
schools provide.
Hupahuche. Just be
Yes.
sincere. It's Hupahuche kind of hockey.
Yeah, but anyway, I think that's a discussion for another day. So on
Mhm.
Saturday we had a USIU drawing 2-2 against Strathmore. I didn't watch that much, but from the look of it and from what I had on Sunday with those I interacted, is that it was a very, very interesting match. And funny enough is that only two wins in
Mhm.
the Premier League. That is the Green Sharks and Police are the only two teams to actually get a win
Mhm.
in the Premier League. You remember the abandoned match, the Green Sharks versus Park Road
Yes.
match? It was
Yes. Yes.
finished
Yeah.
on Sunday. So Green Sharks were 3-1 up against Park Road, returning Park Road. Remember, Park Road had been relegated in the 2019 season, and now they won the league. They were promoted back to the Premier League. So Kenya Police on Sunday uh, beat Wazalendo 3-0.
Yeah.
Njugush predicted it. He predicted a win. I yeah, I had
I
predicted
wish we
a
betted on
draw.
money, my friend.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We need to start that prediction league on your site.
Yeah. We need to. But
Yeah.
my team is asking me, or some members of my team are asking me, whether it is legit if or it is good if I participate in it, considering that I'm the custodian of the system. Sit I rig.
Are you
I
are
can,
you are they trying to say that you're going to steal votes from me and put on yourself?
yeah, it seems so. It seems so. Yeah.
You should
So
get a
let,
neutral
let
party there.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
have a look at this result.
Mhm.
One team has not really been training that much, and they only participated in the KHU tournaments or the local tournaments. The
Mhm.
other team uh, have been training. They played in an international tournament, but the result looks different. On paper, you would have thought that Wazalendo actually had a chance to win or even at least get a draw against Police. What are
Mhm.
your thoughts on this? Because personally, I thought it would be a draw based on the strengths of two teams and how both teams have been playing and training. I thought it would be a draw.
For me, I came with this mentality, and knowing the history, you are a statistician, if I can call it
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that police never lose their first game.
Yeah.
So that is something for me at the back of my mind I had, and looking at the tournaments they have taken part in,
Yeah.
and the kind of depth that they have been. Talk was that they have, throughout the COVID period, for them they have been training. So
Mm.
it was not going to be an easy match for
Mm.
Zalendo. On the other side was Zalendo, despite going to club championships and the
Yeah.
experience we got. They were not going to be a walk in the park for police.
Mm.
So for
Mm.
me, I think it was a really interesting game to watch. But what was key in that match, what police came with in that match, was one thing, and that was experience. And so they
Mm.
used that, knowing the
Mm.
kind of style that Zalendo had, and they played to that. Because look at the statistics. 10th,
Yeah.
or was it 11th minute? Uh,
Mm.
Zalendo get a green card. 2 minutes
Yeah.
later, they get
A
a
goal.
second green card.
Mm.
1 minute later or 2 minutes later, they concede a penalty shot.
Yeah. True. True. True.
Yeah, and that costed them, because, in fact, let me just play what uh, Njogu, or Dij as we call him,
Mm.
what he
Mm.
had to say after the match, and then we get to
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
First match as a coach, a loss. How are you feeling?
Obviously, losing matches is not the best feeling as a coach, and we had hoped to start with a win, but was not possible today. And obviously, the format is not a tournament; it's still a league. So we'll try and collect as many points as we can, see where that takes us at the end of the season.
Why do you think you lost the match?
Goals change the perspective of the game. Yeah? And it's the most important statistic. So I felt we had our chances. They had theirs and they scored. So you cannot say. So that is just my analysis. We did not take our chances, and they had. Their chances were more. They had two flicks and one goal, which I think we conceded because of a mistake. So, but goals change the perspective of the game. So they're still the winners. So we'll have to go back and reset, see how we can do better.
Where are you going to reset?
Mostly our defensive setup, because like today we had 5 new players. The ones we signed in 2020 who have never played. So you have not, and then we had like 3 guys we have promoted from the lower leagues. So today it was more of trying to fit people in different positions, and obviously these people in training might have done well in training, but when they were exposed to a big match, they seemed to panic. So we'll try and maybe see the best personnel, see the best structure we can use, so that we can see if we can collect points in the coming matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that is Njogu, or Dij as we call
Mm-hmm.
him.
Yeah.
His first match. From his voice, you can tell how disappointed he is.
Yeah, I can tell you as a coach, it's really disappointing
Yeah.
to lose a match, and I know Dij. As I said, I've done my badges with him,
Mhm.
but personally, I think that it was a huge risk for Wazalendo to throw in a lot of players into the deep for the first game. Consider the first game was the Kenya Police game. Also, it's a huge risk whenever you have a new team going into a new season. More so, you consider that it's of the first season after the COVID period. Personally, I'd have preferred them to maintain some of the experience in the team, and then bring in the younger players, the inexperienced players slowly, and then probably next season drop all the players, or do a complete transition. Yeah, but every team has its own setup. Every coach have their own philosophy.
Mm.
Yeah, but personally, I think They played well. They played well, uh, but they were too hasty in terms of attack. Quick, yes, you need to play quick, but you need to pick the right passes and pick the right moments to execute those passes. If you look at that match, for whoever watched that match, there were instances where was a Lendo dominated play.
Yeah,
And
especially in the fourth quarter.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And if you look at the organization of police in defense, it was solid. That's what
Mm.
actually helped police maintain the clean sheet as well.
Mm.
So they
Okay,
were,
just hold on,
yeah.
hold on there. Let's
Mhm.
listen to what Coach Mugambi and Wekesa, the captain, had to say about the game and a total complete contrast. Let's listen to this.
Yeah.
Coach, congratulations. First game, 3 goals, 3 points. What's your take? Against Wazalendo.
It was a good revenge.
A good revenge.
And a sweet revenge.
And a sweet revenge.
Yeah. They denied us our second chance to be number 2 in the last previous league.
Yes.
We lost to them 2-1. So winning against them was a good revenge. Yeah.
What was your working for?
Last season, our striking was very poor. We worked on striking and our midfield. Strengthening our midfield. It worked today well. Yeah.
Okay, let me turn over to the captain. Your first match, and you have won it.
It was a, let me say, it was a tough match, but we played according to our plan, no? The way coach they had planned our match, and it's sweet to win. It's sweet, and we are in for it.
You're in for it
until the end. Yeah.
Yes, so that is Wekesa, the new captain for Kenya Police, and Mugambi, who was very happy.
You can actually, the problem with our disciplined forces is that you can never know whether they're happy or they're sad, or because sauti yake tu ni the same. There is no emotional fluctuation in the voice.
No, but from his face you could tell, the man was so happy. In fact, he welcomed us to just do the interview. He was like, "Mmekuja."
I wonder what would have been if they didn't win.
I'm sure Mugambi will not even give us time. He will have just walked away from us.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think for me, as I said earlier, experience was very key in this match, and that is what they did. Looking at the two flicks, they knew they had planned themselves in case of any penalty shot, who is going to take what's his name, Samuel. All the time he was just going in and taking the shot. And probably I should ask you this question. Is this something that probably Wazalendo going forward need to look at? Because there were 5 new mid defenders, and probably this is why it costed them, and the constant attacks they got, because they did, at least in the middle, they tried to contain it. But now they realized that we can use the flanks, because they kept on using was it the right or the left flank?
The left
flank. And they kept on getting into that D very easily, and at least in the second half, Wazalendo sealed that hole, but still, the die had already been cast.
Yeah, as you said, experience is key in any game of play, but also it doesn't mean that if you have inexperienced players you can't win a match. It's more or less, as Coach Dij said there, it's more or less to do with organization. They need to go back, and I hope they have a video of that game. They sit down and review it and ask themselves questions, because you don't want to start losing the league with your first match, and more so losing to a team that you are competing with for the top positions. they actually need to go back and say, hey, look, guys, it's a loss. It has happened. What did we do well? Because there are very many things in the match they did well. If for someone who did not watch that match, they could easily say that Kenya Police overpowered Wazalendo. But people
Yeah.
who watched that game can tell you that, as Rij said and as Mugambi has said, it was a matter of whoever takes their chances. Remember,
Yeah.
two of those goals were penalty strokes; they were flicks.
Yeah.
So if those are just defensive mistakes that if they correct, they can actually win matches. Also, moving forward, what Kenya Police did so well was to isolate Barry and Sutcliffe Sook. They made sure that they were not getting runs into the D. They were not getting a lot of time on the ball, and they were cutting out passing lines to the two forwards. You know, they are very tricky forwards. Once they have the run on you, it's very difficult to defend. You saw how Sami and Roba were struggling whenever the two got the ball because they are very, very
Yeah.
tricky forwards. They are very quick.
Yeah.
They are nimble. They can dribble
And
past you very
even
easily.
Matthew,
Yeah, even
because
Matthew.
yeah.
But that being said, the boys that have just come into the team need to realize that in the Premier League there is no space and that there is no room for mistakes. In the Premier League, you can't lose the ball and you start throwing your hands up. No, once you lose the ball, you need to run back and defend, or you win it. You win it back quickly. That's where was Alendo are failing because Kenya Police, the moment they lost the ball, they were quickly going back and winning it. Um, but you look at Wazalendo players, whenever they lost the ball, most of them were like, my teammates will help me defend or something like that. They were not actually aggressive to get to winning the ball back. That's some of the things that I believe the new defenders, the new players in the team, and also Coach Dij need to look at and work on before their next match. Because as we said, if you look at the Premier League at the moment, there is no room for mistakes.
Okay. Let's close up on these two teams. Wazalendo plays Strathmore this weekend, if I'm not wrong. And if you can pull
Let's
those statistics
confirm.
up, yeah.
Let's get them.
Yeah, and I know Kenya Police are playing on 26th, the other weekend, against Butali. First game for Butali.
Yeah.
What do you think Wazalendo should come up with in the second match?
As I share my screen and
Yeah.
show you the, you know why I'm smiling is because
Yeah.
Wazalendo have always found it tricky playing against Strathmore. Against USIU and Strathmore.
Yeah.
If you look at this record, uh, from 2016, because that's when as Hockey KU started recording statistics. From 2016 in the league, they've played a total of 7 matches. Wazalendo have won 2, USIU have won 4. And as you can see there, it's only 1 draw between them. You look at their form, of course, Wazalendo have only played 1 match and they've lost it. USIU have played 2 and they've drawn. So what does that tell you? It tells you that this is a goal scoring match. If you look at that, Wazalendo last time beat USIU 2-1, but you look at the previous fixtures, USIU have been winning 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. When Wazalendo win, they win big. Very small margins. But when you look at whenever Wazalendo win, USIU have scored. So it tells you that Wazalendo already has a tough time keeping a clean sheet against USIU. And whenever USIU score, it's a matter. Actually, if you look at the match sheets, it's just that you can't pull them here. Whenever USIU score fast, they win the match. But whenever Wazalendo score fast, they win the match.
And this is something that DJ alluded to. That he said that goals change the perspective of the game. So could it be that this is something that probably he needs to do in the back room, and tell their players, even if you lose a match, you need to you consider goal, you need to rise above that and just come back and win.
There are two ways to approach a match.
Mhm,
You can either close shop at the back and score.
mhm,
Of course, now it means that you start building your game from the back. If
mhm,
I use a football, and sorry to use a football example, you approach the match like Diego Simeone, where you make sure you don't concede.
mhm,
That's the first line where you start, and then whenever you get a chance, you hit them on the break, you hit them on the counter and score. When you score one goal, now you build on your defense. The other
mhm,
way is you don't worry too much about conceding, but you go all out and attack, which means
mhm,
if they score three, you score four. If they score seven, you score eight.
mhm.
So it
But
depends on
going back
how.
going
Yep.
back to those statistics, sorry to cut you short, and if you can bring
Hmm.
them up.
Yeah.
Was Alendo win 3-1?
Hmm.
The next time, they are
It
beaten
starts.
twice.
It starts here. It starts with
Yes.
USIU 2-1. As I said, it's just that I
Mhm,
don't have the match sheet. But I remember when analyzing this match, whenever USIU score fast, they go on
mhm,
and win the game. So you
mhm.
see there USIU 2-1,
Yes.
USIU 0-0. That's the only draw.
Uh-huh.
Wazalendo 3-1, and I remember this match. Wazalendo scored 2 goals first,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
then we had, you see, was USIU 1-0, 1-0, 1-0,
Uh-huh.
then
Mhm.
2-1.
3 matches in consecutively, they lose and then they come again and win.
Yeah.
If we can give our predictions right now, I think they are going to lose this game.
Azalendo is my team. Azalendo is my
Yeah.
team, and I'm hoping the best for them.
Yeah.
I'll let you know that Wazalendo have a history of struggling against university sides. May it
Mhm,
be at any level, whether it's a tournament or it's a league, they usually have a difficult time playing against university sides.
mhm,
Reasons I don't know. I can't put a finger on it, but they do seem to struggle. Even if we are to pull up statistics of Strathmore, KCA, KU, they really seem to struggle with these university sides. So,
mhm,
but looking at this match in isolation, as
mhm,
you've said, chances are USIU will win because, as you've seen, USIU score, and
mhm,
they've scored 3 goals so far. But they're also conceding. They've conceded against. Let me pull up the stats once again. They've conceded against Sailors. They've conceded 2 against Strathmore. So that gives Dij a chance, because if he
mhm,
looks at those statistics, those results, sorry, he says if they are conceding, then it's us to put a stop at the back and make sure we score fast. And if we score fast, let's control the game. So
mhm,
Dij just look. He needs just to look at control. Whoever has control of the game, especially in the midfield area, will
mhm.
win this match. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Hmm.
Let's move to a different league, probably the ladies one. But yeah,
Let's have a look at the Premier League women, where we
yeah.
had USIU. They played against Sliders on Saturday, and they won 2-0. It was a tough weekend for Sliders because they also lost on Sunday 3-0 against Strathmore. Sliders,
Eight
tough
goals
start for them.
conceded so far.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look at that, they conceded 3 against Blazers, 2, that's 5, 8. So
Yeah.
Sliders, it's a tough start for them. It's a
Mhm,
tough start for them. But on Sunday, I watched their match against Strathmore, and I can say it's a team that's short of confidence.
mhm,
Um, they just need to find their feet or their foot and get the season started. Otherwise, they are looking at playing at the Super League. They need to have that confidence. Of course, the 3 teams they've played against are the top 3 teams in the league. So who are they
yeah.
meeting next? Remember, the teams they're going to meet next are not a rollover. They're
Mhm,
meeting Lakers. You know how strong the team is. We don't know
yeah.
whether they've recruited. We don't know whether
Mhm,
they've maintained the same team. So
Mm-hmm.
they Sliders need to go back and start training. Some of their players looked unfit. They looked out of sync with the other teammates. It's something they really need to work on. Um,
I've also taken note that they have kind of done recruitment, so I want to
mm,
think that synergy is not yet there.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
you and I know this team ni kama inaitwa nini, gari ya moshi
Mm,
inafikanga
mm.
mahali inachemuka na inachemuka vizuri. So
A diesel
uh,
engine.
yes, so I think with time they are going to probably reduce this conceding goals and now probably get into a draw and start winning. I'm not so scared about them.
Mm,
Uh, Having finished their biggest, playing their biggest rivals,
mm.
I think after this, it's going to be a kind of relaxed mode,
Yeah.
in a way, just
Mm.
picking up from where they left and making sure that they don't drop to the Super League.
Yeah, and a good one from what's the lady's name? I'm trying to get the name. I'm very poor with names. If anyone at home knows how I can be remembering names, please send me a quote. Um, I'm trying to get her name. She came on for Strathmore, and within a minute she scored a goal.
Is it
And it's
Maureen?
yeah, Maureen, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
She came on within a minute and she scored a goal, and it was her first goal for Strathmore in the Premier League. Well done, Maureen. Um, but the ladies of Strathmore, there was a time that they almost made Coach Senge have one of the nerves burst, or the because there was a time where they lost control of the match and Sliders really took control, and
Yeah, they
they,
dominated. I think it was the
they
third quarter, if
the
I'm not
third
wrong.
quarter, yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
second and third quarter, the Sliders dominated, which tells you that Sliders is not badly off. What I'd expect from Sliders is for the experienced players to come in and pick up the younger players, the new players, and have everyone settled in the game. That's what I'd expect them to do. Yeah, Strathmore. Moving forward, they need to also look at how they are transitioning from defense to midfield to attack. There were certain times where there was a lot of ball carrying, especially in the
Mhm,
midfield area. So when
mhm,
they start meeting teams like USIU, teams like Blazers, Lakers, they can't afford to start dribbling. Uh, they had a lot of players who were dribbling, and then it was just a matter of putting the stick down, and the turnover is there. So when they get to play those quality teams like USIU and Blazers, what happens during a turnover? Um,
mhm.
eh, yeah, so Coach Senge, I think that's the part where he got frustrated, especially in the third quarter. There are a lot of turnovers, a lot of loose balls. Yeah, so at least what I want to see in Jugush in the Premier League women, I want to see at least a close challenge. Blazers, of course, the perennial champions, the African queens, and they deservedly so deserve to be winning leagues. But at least I want this time to see USIU and Strathmore and Lakers give Blazers a run, a complete run. Let the Blazers not win the league with 10 points or 20 points or 15 points. At least if they are to win, wacha wafeel wenyewe wamedeserve kuwin hiyo league.
A run for their many.
Mm, mm,
Yes, I want us to switch gears and look at the National League Western Zone,
mhm,
because they played their first matches this weekend.
mm,
We had new entrants, Blue Pirates taking on Kitale Hockey Club. I
mhm,
can call them neighbors. And,
mm,
and that was a very interesting match. And even as you pull that up, and then we had the game ended 2-1 in favor
mm.
of Kitale
Kitale.
Hockey Club. A
Yeah.
very, very interesting match. And if you'd like to just get the story, you can head over
Mhm,
to hockey254.com.
yeah.
Amazing, amazing analysis of the game by one Conrad. Um, I don't know what's your take. Looking at the separation of the leagues, which I think is a really good thing. You and I have discussed this before. Seeing the Western side having these games, and even Bay taking on Bungoma, that
Mm.
game, Bungoma
Mm.
Farmers, that game ended 2-2.
Yeah.
And of course, here in Nairobi, we had Impala taking on Nairobi Chapel. This one you won. Let me give you a thumbs up for it.
Yeah. Told ya experience would come in.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but back to the Western Zone.
Mm.
A very interesting uh, results. A very good play by Kitale. Their
Mm.
first match, and they get their 3 points. Um, you and I need to go down there so that we can just enjoy some of these good games
Yeah.
and analyze this. Yeah.
I'm looking at these teams. I'm looking at the results,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing that other than UN, who kept a clean sheet against Karate, you look at those teams, they are conceding goals.
Mm-hmm.
And that tells you, if you look at even the previous weekend, Karate playing against Impala winning 5-1. Of course, Impala is a Super League quality team. It's Impala is not supposed to be playing in the National League, but you look at that, you look at the goals being scored. It tells you that we expect this league to have a lot of goals in them.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of how the zoning was done, and in terms of how the fixtures were set up, personally, I don't think that we'll have the usual strong teams as we know them making it to the playoffs. This time around, we might have the new teams coming up and actually winning these matches. Remember that Watu wa Western, they are very strong at their home ground.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when the Nairobi teams go there? These are people who train, teams from Western, teams from Nyanza. These are
Yeah.
teams that train together, and they don't quite have that separation in terms of their players wanaishi huku wengine mbali. All of
Mm-hmm.
them are usually around, and
Yeah.
remember that in the Western side, hockey to them is a hobby, is a fun activity. um, Nairobi kuna watu wenye instead of playing hockey as a fun sport, they play, let's say, football. Wengine wanaenda kucheza pool, wengine wanaenda kucheza mchezo ya chupa pale kwa bar. So it's I'm just shouting, I'm just putting up a shout out or a warning to Nairobi teams, or teams that will be traveling to Western. You need to be ready, because those teams wamezoea kucheza on grass na ni nyasi yenye kumedrizzle kidogo, so
Mm.
going there, kama una kiatu mzuri, kama you guys are not a team, you will struggle, and Jigushi will remember this one day. And I'm saying it again, teams going to Western, you will face a very difficult time. Of course, you'll say umpires, you'll say kuna bias, but to get points from Kisumu and Western
Mm-hmm.
region, hata
Mm.
Nandi
Mm.
itakuwa ngumu, itakuwa
Itakuwa
ngumu.
ngumu. Yeah.
Itakuwa ngumu. Yeah.
Good. Let's look at this weekend games, and if you can pull that up, probably you can start with the National League because you are on that page.
Yeah. So looking at the National League, we have some very, very good fixtures coming up. So we have Nairobi Chapel playing against Karate, and the matches will be played in Strathmore. Nandi Hawks will be hosting University of Eldoret. I think there was a change in this venue. We are going to confirm on that. And then Blue Pirates are going to play against Bay Club. And then
That's
Rover.
Nandi Hawks versus UAE.
Yeah, there was a change of venue.
Yes, it has been moved to Eldoret. It will be played at Eldoret. Yeah.
Yeah, let me confirm. Yes. Now it's supposed, instead of being Nandi Hawks versus UAE, it's UAE versus Nandi Hawks. So UAE will be at home. So we are going to update that fixture, and as well as post the updated fixtures on our timelines as well. If we look at the other fixtures, we have Blue Pirates playing against Bay Club, and then we have Rovers playing against Gorillas. I've come to get a liking for this club, Gorillas. Gorillas have a way of wounding up their opponents on social media. Whoever is the social media
Funga,
admin for
funga,
Gorillas, I
funga
think
tusijipate huko, my friend.
I think we need to host the social media admin wa Gorillas. Huwa ananifurahisha sana. The way he posts things, that guy is a comic. Let me say the person, because we don't know whether it's a guy or a lady, but he's a
Yeah,
comic.
yeah,
He wounded up Daystar and ended up winning. So hata social media admin wa Daystar akashindwa kurespond, and that's what we want to see. Njugush,
yeah,
I'm proud and I'm happy to see teams actually posting their fixtures, promoting their games. It's good to
mhm,
see. We need to continue that. We need to have those social
yeah.
media pages actually
And I
promoting
think
their own
it
games.
bore fruits because on Sunday, I saw the VIP dais,
Mm,
Gorilla, Wazalendo,
mm,
fans came to watch their game, and
mm,
though
mm.
they left disappointed, but at least they were there to show support for the team, and I believe this is some of the things that are making the sport more aware, and people are getting to know about it.
If we look at, I wish we could pull up the videos and we could pull up the videos and the photos over the weekend. The city park was actually full
Mm.
to an extent where even towards the sides where we have the trees and the shades, we had
Yes.
fans
Mm.
sitting there. So it shows that guys had actually missed the game.
Yeah.
So hopefully let's have the same over the weekend, because if we look at the Premier League fixture, we have
Mhm.
one of the big clubs playing.
Mhm.
Let me pull up the Premier League fixtures for the weekend.
Yeah.
Um, as you see there, we have a very big match: Butali
Yeah.
versus Green Sharks Saturday at
Yeah.
6, and then on
Yes.
Sunday we have Wazalendo versus USIU at 5.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Butali playing their first match of the season against
Yeah.
Green Sharks, who've already played against Park Road.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on this game?
We, unajua mimi na Sharks tuko hapo sasa.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Uh, it's not going to be an easy match.
mm,
Uh, and you don't know what is up Butali's sleeves. I haven't confirmed for me this, but I haven't seen them participate in any tournament.
mm,
So I wouldn't know their state of play, but nonetheless, they have a very big depth. I
mm,
saw Mutira seems to be okay right now, so I believe he's going to be in that game on Saturday. And
mm.
the statistics, are showing otherwise. Not in favor of Sharks.
Mm, mm,
4 wins against one. Uh, Two are away. There are 2 draws, however.
mm,
What is coming off my head is I'm seeing a draw, very high
mhm,
stake draw.
mhm.
Maybe a 2-2 or a 2-2, a 2-2 draw for me. That is what I would. That's the prediction I would give.
I know the likes of Osiche and my good friend Njugush pamoja na other guys won't be happy, but I'm going for a Butali win kwa
Okay.
sababu
Mm.
Kenya Police won over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So Butali wouldn't want to lose and give Kenya
Yeah.
Police the upper hand in terms of
Mm-hmm.
chasing the league.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going for a Butali win because this for me and for them is a must-win match to
Mm.
set the tone for the whole season. And it's
Okay.
interesting to see these fixtures being set up by KHU, having the top 4 teams. Some of them meet each other in the first 2 game weeks of the Premier League.
Yeah.
It sets the tone
Mm.
for the whole season. Assuming Butali lose, what happens next? They would want to go the entire season, the rest of the entire season unbeaten. Remember, they are the first team to go unbeaten in the league for quite some time.
Yeah.
Police have won, and
Mhm.
remember, Police in 2019 did not have a very good season.
Yeah.
Wazalendo finished second in 2019 season. They've lost the first match. Green Sharks have also won their first match. So will Butali afford to lose? I don't think so. This is a must win for them so that they set a tone. And I think they want to go for a big win so that they can also have a goal difference. If I can pull up the league table so that we see, if we see the league table there, you have Kenya Police who are first, Green Sharks who are second.
Yeah.
So Police and Sharks are tied on points, but the goal difference is what is separating them. So Butali, I think, would want to go for a big win against Green Sharks, but knowing Green Sharks, itakuwa an easy game. It won't
Yeah.
be an easy
It
game
won't be an easy
for
game.
Butali. It won't be
It
an
will
easy
not be
game.
a walk in the park.
Yeah. So if you will be around in Nairobi, unfortunately we are not doing live streams for the matches. But if you will be around in Nairobi, come to City Park, watch this game. It's at 6 p.m. on Saturday. I don't think you have match plans on an evening, Saturday evening. But
Mm.
could you watch game? Let's go to the City Park and watch these matches. These are
Yeah.
the top teams in the country. Let's watch it. Yeah.
Good. Uh,
Let,
we,
let's have a
uh,
look at the women's, the Premier League women. We have, as you see the table there, Blazers are top with 3 points. They are tied with Strathmore there.
yeah.
So they've scored the same number of goals. They scored, so wameseparatiwa tu na alphabetical order. Yeah, so we have USIU Sailors Wolverines. Wolverines will be playing this weekend, and they are going to meet Strathmore, and also a top match on Sunday. I think Sunday City Park is the place to be. We have Wazalendo USIU, and then we have USIU Blazers. So USIU
Yeah.
Blazers at 3, Wazalendo USIU at 5. So
Yeah.
Sunday ni siku mzuri sana ya kuwa City Park to watch these matches. So Strathmore versus Wolverines. What's your take on that match?
Wow.
Imekuwa ngumu. Imekuwa
Quite
hard
tricky.
small, imekuwa ngumu kidogo.
Imekuwa ngumu kidogo.
Mhm.
I don't
And you
know,
see
but
this. Mhm.
I think I would give it to Strathmore, but not by a huge margin, because Wolverines are not a walk in the park. They are definitely going to give their best foot forward, and they're going to prove their worthiness into the Premier League. So they need to, they're going to bring a fight to this match. Yeah.
USIU Blazers.
Hii pia ni tricks. Very, very tricky, but I think experience might play a very big role for Blazers. So that may grant them a win, but again, I wouldn't just give them that credibility, that benefit, because it's not going to be easy. So I also understand that USIU don't have a coach, so could this lacking someone in the
No,
bench
they have
be
a
contributing?
coach. And
They have a
they
coach.
have a coach.
Which team
Yeah,
doesn't
they
have
have
a
a coach.
Oh, yes, they do. I don't know who I'm confusing with. But nonetheless, I think for me, this match is going to be, experience is going to play a very big role in it.
Yeah. I'll go for a Strathmore win against Wolverines. Strathmore, the experience and also the fact that they've been participating in the Kusa tournaments and matches and other small tournaments. They will have an edge over Wolverines. They know what it takes to play in the Premier League. The best result Wolverines will get from this match is a draw, and I know Deno Walker is going to kill me for saying this. Popole Deno. But yeah, Strathmore, I think we are going to edge this. Interesting to see Coach Senge versus Dennis. Then we have USIU Blazers. I think Blazers will win here. Blazers have always had an edge over USIU. I don't know what happens to USIU whenever they play Blazers. I don't know whether it's butterflies, whether the team is not up for it. USIU look a totally different side whenever they are playing Blazers. They look strong whenever they are playing against Strathmore, Lakers, but whenever it comes to Blazers, I don't know. I don't know what happens to them. Let's hope that they turn up this time. Let's hope
Kuna
they
mtu hapa
turn up this
ananiambia
time.
niseme ni uoga.
Inaweza kuwa ni woga, inaweza kuwa ni woga. But yeah, I hope they turn up this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Good. Let's bring this to a close.
Yes, before we go to a close, a couple of news. I'm trying to get that the list of the Kakamega County elections. They were held over the weekend. And before I get that list, Jugush, Nairobi County were supposed to hold elections over the past weekend on Sunday 13th. And the meeting was adjourned because of lack of quorum. Does this mean that communication did not go early to the teams, or is it that the clubs were not interested? What do you think was the case? Or what is the case? Why was the meeting? Why do you think the meeting was adjourned?
I'm yet to find out what really happened, but I saw a comment by one of the stakeholders who responded to what's a Facebook post that Nairobi Hockey had posted, and telling the union that the association that kwa ground vitu ni different, wacha kutuwekea kwa social media, tutumie email. Not verified if that was the case. Did they have an updated list of all their members' emails, rather?
I asked two members. Okay, I asked two members of two different top clubs in Nairobi who are present at City Park, and they told me that they did not receive any communication regarding the elections. I don't know whether they were lying to me or they did not actually see it, but having asked both of them in separate occasions on Sunday and telling me that they actually didn't know that there was an election was a bit surprising. I hope that Nairobi Hockey can actually send a memo, if not an email, at least a stamped letter, because the clubs are around. And it goes back to what we were talking about. How are we handling our issues? I'm not overly critical on them. I'm happy that they actually came out on social media and said that they have an election, an elective AGM on Sunday, and also come out and say that it did not happen. That is the sort of transparency that most clubs, most team players, most people in the hockey space want to see. Put the information out there. As counties, have a social media page. You have publicity people in your team, and Conrad is now part of the publicity team of Kakamega County. So he needs to come up and actually have a website, have social media pages, collaborate with media houses, with podcasts like this, so that this information can go out there. If you want to avoid problems, Jugush, as we end this point and we go to the Kakamega County and see the list. If we want to solve these problems, Jugush, if we want to not solve problems, if you want to get rid of so many problems, especially when you're working in a public office, put things out. Just say what you are doing. I have a friend of mine who works in a PR office, a private firm. We were having a discussion, and he was telling me that if you look at how most companies do, or most of federations do, hata wakifagia compound wanapiganga picha, wanasema tulifagia compound jana. At least people are seeing something is happening. Hata wakikaa sana, let's say they stay for like 3-4 days without posting anything on their social media pages, wanaendanga wanachukua post ya club, wanaiweka, wanasema leo hii club ili train and all those things, because whenever you churn out this information, you are avoiding a lot of questions, and avoiding a lot of curiosity. So you're avoiding that stress. I was having a discussion I usually have another discussion, a podcast with another professor somewhere, and he was asking me in that podcast, he was asking, do you avoid stress or do you manage stress? So it's the same thing. So are we managing this situation, or are we avoiding the situation? So as counties my challenge to the counties, as you are holding these elections, put it out there. Don't just post a list of people who are elected. Also tell guys in the public that the elections are being held, the elections are on a certain date. These are the requirements and whatnot. But anyway, moving on to the list. We have Kakamega County Association Annual General Meeting 2022 list of elected officials. Let me just share the posts. We got it off of Facebook. Njugush, wewe huku ni kwako ama wewe si wa hii county?
Mimi si wa hiyo kaunti. Niliambiwa kwamba kaunti yangu inatengeneza makaratasi yake, iko tayari kusubmit.
Okay. Yeah. So this post is from the Western Jaguars page, and these are the list of officials. So a big congratulations to the newly elected office at the Kakamega County Hockey Association, our own Peter Wangaki Okova and Conrad Bihembo, Clich, the Secretary General, and Publicity Dockets, respectively. We wish them God's blessings, guidance as they steer the county and the sport to greater heights. So you can see the list there. So you have the president, who's John Gitau. Huyu Gitau alifika aje Kakamega? Modo, wewe ulifika aje Kakamega?
Uoni hata James Shege yako hapa?
James Shege,
but this is good. It's good to have. We are all over the country, so let's not be just fixed in other places, but we can run anywhere as long as we love the sport and we are passionate about it. Let's do whatever we can.
And then, as you see there, we have Deputy President number 1, James Chege, Deputy President number 2, Nancy Mihadia. Then we have Sekjen is Peter Wangaki, Deputy Sekjen is Celestine Muhati, Treasurer is Opondom Say Robert. We have the Deputy Treasurer Lilian Amagashia. Publicity is Conrad, congratulations. Match and fixtures, we have Musonia Wycliffe. Deputy match and fixtures, we have Cheryl. Member number 1 is Eric. Member number 2 is Isa. So congratulations to the new team. It's now up to you for the next 4 years to make sure hockey in that county is growing. It's not just an office. It's not just a place to sit down and say, mimi ndio president wa Kakamega County. If things don't work, there are questions to be answered. Yeah, Jugush, your reaction on this?
No, it's good to see this. This is the second county, if I'm not wrong, with the results after Mombasa. Yeah, I know a lot of them are holding. The rest actually are holding this weekend because Kenya Hockey Union Secretary General so sent an email and saying that the last day is 20th of March, so which is this coming weekend. So we hope that all these counties will have finished the elections by then, and they would have made sure that they have put their houses in order, because on the 16th of April we are going to have the national elections, the KHU elections, and So this needs to be sorted out before then.
What I'd like to challenge the counties that are holding the elections as well as KHU is, please post a list of the people vying for positions. The ballot is secret. We don't want to to know who voted for who, but post a list of candidates. Let's see who's vying for president. For example, let's see who's vying for KHU president, who's vying for Nairobi county president. Let's have that information out. Let people see who are actually willing to represent them. Can we have clubs coming out and saying one of our members is vying for this position? What do you think about that,
Yeah,
Jigush? Because I think,
yeah.
as we say,
This
to
is
let.
this is something
Mhm.
I'll tell you has not been easy to get,
Mm,
and partly from talking to the different counties, the feedback I'm getting is that a lot of people are not willing to take up these positions. And like if you look at Kakamega, for instance, um, I have seen a lot of seats being retained, or cover being one of them. The president
mm, mm,
retaining his, Conrad has retained his for the second time, which I believe is now his. They are all running on their second and last terms. So
mhm,
I hope that in these 4 years they're going to get someone who will help in the uh, management of this sport, so that there is transition and continuity, just to build up the sport, and just to encourage more young
mm,
people, more guys who are vibrant, and would like to see either changes, or they would like to see the game sport, the sport grow, to come out and get involved in in club matters, get involved in county matters, and inquire on how they can do this, because I know it is not a hard thing. We can break this
mm,
myth that it's a selected few. Let's get out there, tuende tuongelelee mambo yetu ya spoti huko mbele, because
mm,
Oktoba will not be there all the time. Neither is the president of Kakamega, neither is Oliver in Mombasa. So we just need to
mm,
get more people coming out, be proactive, and I'm sure the older people will be here to support everyone, the younger people who are coming on board, and I hope that they'll also be able to mentor them, and just ensure that this sport
mm,
grows and that it doesn't
mm,
die. A classic
mm.
example, sorry, let me just do this quickly because I know we need to end the show.
Yeah.
Look at a team like Police. They now have
Mm,
a very young person as the captain,
yeah.
and and I was speaking off cuff with Mugambi and Modo, the TM, and they're saying me, you know what? This is what we want to see. We want to encourage the young people to take up leadership positions. I wonder if that is the case in the pitch, if as a captain they can still, because of ranking and everything, they can do this. But I
Mm,
believe they have given them the leeway to speak their minds up. They have given them the leeway to, um, make decisions, and because they're being brought to the table of
mm,
where the decisions are made pertaining the different clubs, and this is a very good thing to see with
yeah.
Kenya Police and the various clubs. Even Wazalendo,
Mm,
I understood that they gave Barry the
the
captainship,
the
so
captain. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, which is a very encouraging thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. As and you've said very well, we need to start thinking about the future, about the transition. And as I said, I think it's important for guys to see who's actually vying for the positions. It's good for clubs to have that knowledge. It's good for the public to have it. I mean, it's not wrong. So why should it be a secret? If there is no one else vying, let it be known that no one else is vying. These are matters that need to be known. As I said, the best way to avoid having a lot of issues in future is put it out there. Information that's meant for the public, put it out there. Now, some of the comments. Danko's, thank you very much. Danko is a top fan of ours. He says, "Hey, thanks team, tuned in as usual. The commitment level in the police team is just on another level. To be honest, they are a seriously committed team. They have equally succeeded in blending both youth and experience." An important point raised by Simon: a match review is really important. It's something important many teams don't invest in as a strategic plan. Yeah, this is a discussion, Jugush, probably we need to get in. I know coaches that do analysis are Kagochi, Coach Tom, and Coach Senge.
Yeah.
We need to start encouraging coaches to do analysis of their matches. I
Mhm.
said last time that they can have someone even record the match on their phone, and
Mhm.
the players also need to accept that match reviews and watching match videos is part of the game. Hii maneno ya
Mhm.
kucheza game, tunaenda changing room, tunapigiana kelele, we go home, come back, do the same mistakes, needs to stop. Otherwise, our game will never grow. Um, and then we have Glenn. Glenn says, "Keep up the good work. Long time, yeah, long time. But this is our 5th episode. Where have you been, Glenn?" And then White Masai is saying, "A White Masai, very interesting. Wow, yeah, wow. It's interesting that you are here as well." So, Njugush, my final word is, as we go into the weekend, as we anticipate the matches, um, as we wait also for the elections, let's hope
Mhm.
everything turns out well. Let's hope that
Mhm.
there are no scandals over the weekend in the elections. Let's hope that, and I want to see a lot of fans going to the stadium and watching the matches. And let's support the game. Now, support your
Yeah.
local club. If you no longer play the game, support them. Don't go away. Usiache kucheza hockey and go away. Bring people to the city park. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's hot, but let's go to the city park to Bebe Mavuli. Let's go support our teams. Let's
Boka
go
Boka
watch
ako na ice
matches.
cream anaweza tuuzia.
Boka ako na ice. Na pia Sunday alikuwa anauza water bottle. Ununue water bottle, weke maji baridi ndani. Pia kuna mchezo wa meno. He has very nice sodas and jugu. Let's go and watch
Yeah.
matches. Let's support our local clubs. Not only at City Park. Kama uko Kitale, if you're in Kakamega, if you're in Eldoret, if you're in Mombasa, anywhere else you are and there's a hockey match being played, pick a friend or two. The game is only 60 minutes. Go watch a game and then let's grow the popularity of the sport. Back to you, Njugush.
Yes, I think you're done. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can follow us on our social media handle. That is at Hockey KE or at Hockey Kenya on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. See you next week, same time, same place from us
Mm,
right now. And remember, if you'd like to be on this panel, just let us know. Drop us an inbox, and Simon and I will do the needful and we'll bring you here. Duncan, you should be the
mm.
first one. Sasa siku hizi naona
No,
unaweza ongea mingi. Eh?
let me just say that I've been talking with, I've been having a lot of discussions with the likes of Duncan, the likes of Mariano, and other people who um I like them because they advise me, they critique our shows, they give suggestions, and Duncan has given me some good suggestions on things we need to talk about. For example, how do we market our club? How do we market our matches? Things to do like the discussions we've been having about counties and clubs and passing this information to them. He has really been a huge support. So Danko, thank you very much. He's one guy who I know he has the passion for the game in Kenya and wants to see the game grow. So yeah, we are going to have him and other few people coming on. So Danko, thank you very much, bro, for your support.
See you
Mm.
next week, same time. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye. Keep safe and keep cool. It's too hot.